where you were broken into.
Yes.
Yeah.
So talk about that.
Okay, now the wife showed up November 19th. She walked through the house because it's her house, so let her in, and she was making certain statements. This door is no good. This is a bad door. Things of that nature.
Which is the door that was broken in.
That was on the 19th of November.
Because she said that door was not there when she was last here.
So they set up the door. You believe that was set up to be broken in while y'all was there? Like how is it her home and she's saying, where does this door come from?
Because she only comes for the holidays.
So she's realizing that door was replaced.
Right. It was an interior door, not an exterior door.
Okay.
So
Mm-hmm.
then, on the 30th of November, we were broken into. We went out that morning to take care of some business, about 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. By the time we came back, let's say about 1 o'clock, 1:30, we walked in the house and we saw the back doors open.
That same door.
That same door. So we contacted the police. We had a police friend. Contacted him. He contacted the Brewster Beach Police. We had to go pick the police up to bring them to our house.
Right, because there is no 911 people. There's no 911. You got to go get the police and bring them to your house.
Yes,
Okay.
and take them back.
Oh, okay.
We took them back.
Yes.
And take them back. Okay.
Yeah.
And so you go get the police. What did they say when they came? Did they do any paperwork or they just ask questions?
Go ahead.
They walked around and everything, asked questions, did a little bit of paperwork.
Took
and
pictures.
Took pictures, and that was it.
Okay.
Also, the owner, the husband, he showed up with his mother, who was a police officer, and a couple other people. And they all went through and did a little thing. And she said that we are professionals. We will take care of this. We will investigate it. So they gave us a reference number. And left like after 30 days, you go find out if there's been any progress. Well, after 30 days, nobody contacted us, so we went and checked it out.
Right.
Nothing.
No investigation.
No investigation.
Just a whole lot of talking.
Yes.
Sounds like a setup. It sounds like a
Yes.
setup. Really? Okay, so then you were broken into. You finally are leaving this place now.
Yeah, but the bad thing about it is we had to pay for the door because we asked the guy that we rented from when he fixed it. He said that's not his problem. So,
But what was the point of him bringing all the police force through there?
For sure.
well, we picked up the police, and then I guess you must have contacted him.
And he came
over,
with them.
and then
I feel like he was covering himself with them to see if anything was going to come back to him. I really do.
I think so.
What was stolen? What items were stolen from you all?
A bunch. I had like 10 watches, from the States, Gucci, a couple that Movado, things of that nature.
Expensive watches.
Yeah, but I look at the fact that had we not had hindsight to take our electronics with us and our money with us, they would have wiped us out.
Well, that's what, when you started talking, that's what I was thinking y'all were going to say. That they took like laptops and phones and things like that. But those are things you had with you.
We always take those with us.
And
If you
your
come
money,
over here,
of course.
Yes.
And what else did they take?
That was it.
The-
I mean, they
so
ransacked the
probably
room.
didn't get as much as they thought they was going to get.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Because if people come over here,
Yeah.
take your valuables with you.
Right.
It's a hassle.
You're safer traveling with your items. I don't think people think that. Because in the States, we don't carry money with us.
No.
But we know here, people will go to cash machine, they got a knapsack full of money.
Yeah.
And you be like, do they really just take all that money out and they walk in? But no one pays attention to that here. Yeah, it's a different vibe when it comes to that. I'm glad nothing major was taken. I know that was an inconvenience, but I assume you had insurance on your items.
No.
Okay, so
That's another thing they said.
ain't no insurance here anyway.
No.
I don't know if it would have mattered. You know what? Let me reverse on that one because you could have insurance in the States on that. But I don't know that your insurance would have even covered you here unless you had a special. That's how they get you.
Okay.
Yeah, because if you had insured your items, then you'd be able to trace serial numbers, all that kind of stuff. But here, I don't know if it would be valid.
Oh, okay.
You see
okay.
what I'm saying? Now, if you said, well, my items were stolen when I was travel, they might have a special clause for that. But I don't know that being a resident here, if you insuring your items, would be covered.
But how would you make sure that happens before you go? Because those are the type of things that you don't think about when you're traveling.
Exactly, and that's why you call. Like, I'm gonna give you an example with medical insurance. For example, I remember trying to get my son covered to get all of his shots before we came, right? And they were like, we covered certain things, but they didn't cover the COVID test. They didn't cover that, so they wanted to send you to places to get the test done, but you had to pay. And I was like, but he's covered under insurance. Why don't you cover that? We're about to travel, right? Then I called my medical insurance, like, well, what if he, sustains an injury while we're abroad and I have to take him to a hospital? They don't cover that. And that's why people get international travelers insurance and all these other things. So for some people, that might be an option. But when it comes to your personal items, I don't know that there's coverage. So that's something people really need to look into, because you may have coverage in the States, but I believe once you get on that plane,
It's over.
yeah, your coverage is a wrap. So you're paying for something that may not cover you abroad. So I think that's an important thing to think about.
Yeah, because like I said, we had our phones with us, we had our laptops
Thank
with
goodness.
us. Yes, because we travel with, like I said, it's a hassle,
Yeah.
but
Thank
in the
goodness
long
you did.
run,
Thank goodness you did. And the superficial things can be replaced, even though they have sentimental value. And you just feel violated, like over everything. Thank goodness y'all weren't there and got hurt, because who knows who came through there. That sounds like a setup. You brought your people to see how much evidence they uncovered, to see if it leads back to you. You're not slick.
and then for him to say he rented the place out to us, not to fix the door.
Who wouldn't do that after you've been inconvenienced like that? You would think the one thing they would want to do is to make sure this didn't happen, especially when you know you didn't have the proper thing. But that's another example of how landlords here move. When something goes wrong, they seem to feel like that's on you. But when they want their rent money,
Oh yes.
they want to run you down and be wondering where the money's at. Right? So let's talk about now. You had a break-in. You had a wife pop out of nowhere.
Had to go to court.
Now you got to go to court. You finally get out of there safely with some kind of funds back in hand.
We had to put another door up there.
Right.
And that was more money out of our
paid the
pocket.
expense for the door.
Yes.
Right? So really an inconvenience at this point. Right? And it's hitting your pockets. You leave there now and you find another place. How do you find this new place? Because I know you ain't going back to dude that told you about the first one.
Yes, we did.
Okay. Because I'm like you and your friend. Like, that's your people. So you didn't, I don't want to mess with you now. So where's he when all this is happening?
Oh, he helped us out.
Yeah.
He did.
Okay.
He did.
Okay. So he finds you another place. Where's this other place now?
In Dalabad State.
Okay. And how was Dalaba Estates?
It has some issues.
Okay.
It's through TAF.
Yes.
Through TAF. There was a leakage.
Okay.
We went to them. It took them about a month to fix it. The work wasn't up to par because leaking again. Because what they did was, instead of, like back in the state, use some type of foam or something to go around the pipes and whatever. They just went outside and got some rocks and threw it in there.
Yeah, there's this logic here that the gravel is some type of moisture retention. I didn't know rocks absorb water, but I guess certain rocks do. I don't know. I'm not in construction, but it just doesn't logically. When I see it, it makes no sense to me. Okay, so you had a leakage problem. Any break-ins, issues with your neighbors?
Hold on.
Oh yes.
Hold on.
Okay, go ahead.
We moved in on February 23rd.
Okay.
Our house is in the middle. There's a house on the end. There's a house on the end and a house on the other side of us.
Yes.
So we moved on the 23rd. That Friday or 2 days later, the house next door to us got broken into.
She came. She was from the UK, but she lives in the UK, but she's from here. She comes in every 6 months, and she stated that 5 people came in there broke into the house, stole TV, money, laptop, phone.
Was she home alone when this happened?
I can't recall if she was or not.
But she said 5 people came in. Like, she knows. She saw them.
Yeah, because she said that they